So I initially watched this video, like, or listened to rather this video while I was on my way home. Yesterday morning, I want to say from El Jam. I was listening to this video, and it got me thinking, because for one, if y'all were there in the streams when I finished JJK or when I started streaming my reactions, um, it was during the Shinjuku Showdown. And dude, being there weekly during fucking Shinjuku Showdown was a time to be alive. Oh my god, I miss it. That was prime JJK to me. I'm not gonna lie. Culling games were whatever. I was reading then. I was reading like when the culling game started, but I checked out like partway through because just so much was going on, and I thought it would be better in an anime format, so I was just waiting for that. Then, uh, nigga and Jane happened, and Shinjuku, and the memes during the Gojo Sukuna fight. Whew. Now I'll get into them like as they come up in this video, but the main reason I wanted to do this was because a lot of these memes and a lot of the instances of Lobotomy Kaisen I actually was there for, and I'm pretty sure is somewhere in here he mentions that he actually
Jujutsu
wasn't.
Kaisen, like many other series, is no stranger to
Hang
memes
on.
and jokes within the community. What has to be mentioned though is how insanely huge the memes from Jujutsu Kaisen become, to the point where they were put into their own umbrella term, Lobotomy
Lobotomy
Kaisen.
Kaisen.
And in
Yep.
today's video, we'll be talking about exactly that.
Now, mind you, I am watching this video in 1.5 just so it goes by faster. It'd be like that. It'd be like that when it'd be like that. If you want to watch the actual video, go watch on Gambler's channel. Go subscribe to him, like his video, all that. Give him the views.
What's up guys, Gambler here.
We're just
and today-
reacting. We're just reacting for commentary purposes, and yeah.
Yes, I finally reached the peak of slop uploads. The bizarre lore of Lobotomy Kaisen. I'll explain everything in a second, but before we get into it, make sure to like and subscribe. I make consistent and quality uploads like these, so subscribing will allow you to see more.
Yeah, subscribe to me while you're watching this shit. Fuck, hey. We trying to get to 50 subs last year, bruh. Hey, listen. 25, or not 25, 50 subs by the end of 2025, bruh. By the start of 2025. Oh, God.
But anyways, let's stop yapping and get into Lobotomy Kaisen. Alright, so for the making of this video, I had to do a lot of research, obviously. And so the first thing I had to look up was lobotomy. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't use Reddit. I don't know how to, like, look at the first post about lobotomy, but...
So, to give a brief explanation, a lobotomy is when they, like, they basically stab your frontal lobe and, like, essentially render you, like, brain dead. It's supposed to, like, docile you or whatever the fuck. But it does that because it nukes your personality and basically kills you in the brain. So, like, you're still alive and everything, but, like, you have, like, very limited, if any, cognitive function.
I saw this one at the top, and it reads Fall Off of the Decade. And then we have two pictures of, like, Yuji. The first one is Season 1 Yuji, and it's 2023. Ironic hating posts and funny memes. Lobotomy Kaisen. And then the second picture of Yuji is him reacting to Novara dying, and then it's 2024. Unironic hating posts, no funny memes. Lobotomy Kaisen overdone. Series is absolute buns now. Now this makes things kind of interesting because I didn't know people used to dub Agenda Kaisen as Lobotomy Kaisen in 2023.
Yeah, and on the inverse, I didn't know that Lobotomy Kaisen was quote-unquote dubbed Agenda Kaisen because I was on... This nigga Gambler was on the agenda side of JJK, and I was on the lobotomy side of that shit. So, hey, it'd be like that, man.
I think a big reason why I probably didn't know that is because I was more reading One Piece and doing One Piece content in 2023. I'm not gonna lie, that was on me. But obviously in 2023,
Yeah, so that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm doing this because he mentioned, yeah, that he was doing more One Piece content during 2023. So he wasn't really into like the whole lobotomy Kaisen aspect as much. Whereas during this time period, that was when I was streaming my reactions, reading the manga. We were there, bruh. And I just have to Again, I'll go into it more when we get there, but like, oh my god, man, it was just so crazy. It was just such a crazy time.
That's when Gojo versus Sukuna was happening, so agenda polls were at the maximum during that fight. We'll get there soon, but I do have to mention as well, the idea for this video came from like a Subway Surfers video I saw. I didn't watch it, so I don't actually know what he was talking about in his video.
You know,
I'm
it's
doing
funny.
this video in my own way. That being said, this video is going to be structured very simply. I have like 2 images of Lobotomy Kaisen when I look it up.
Dude.
And basically, we're going to go through every...
I love that this became an agenda or lobotomy section because I started doing that out of spite because that nigga finally got clipped, bro.
Single meme there, talk about the lore, talk about what it actually means, and everything of the sort. I will say there might be some errors because obviously I can't really navigate Reddit too well, but I'll try my best. The first meme that I'm going to go over is the Not I'd Win meme. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have Not I'd Win as the PNG on my thumbnail, so it is a good start. Now, I actually know the lore of this off the top of my head. This...
Low-key same, and he's going to go into it more in depth than I am, but essentially, bruh, the Not I'd Win meme was essentially what started it all, if I'm being honest. It low-key kind of... I don't want to say it started there, it started it all, but that was one of the very, like, big traceable roots back to, like, the big origins of Lobotomy Kaisen was the Not I'd Win meme. And he's going to explain it a bit better, a lot more in depth and better than I will. But basically, bruh, if I find the Rosa Parks edit, I'll put it up, bruh. But, nigga.
Who would take the seat, him or you?
If he got racist, he might cause me a little trouble.
But would you lose?
Nah, I'd win.
Nah, I'd win. It's so good. It was so funny.
This all started because John Wary, which you guys probably all know about, he's this translator for Viz who's never read Jujutsu Kaisen and mistranslates so much stuff. What happened is that in the original chapter, before it was edited, John Wary made Gojo say no. This was not accepted by the community, like, at all. So they had to edit it, and it came back with, nah, I'd win. Obviously, the reason why this became a meme is because it's so awkward. Like, the appropriate answer to Kenjaku's question isn't nah, I'd win. It's not even close to it. TCB's Scan's translation was like 100 times better because what they made him say was, I will win. And that works, right? Because before, when it made sense, Gojo said, nah, I would win. And now he's talking to the guys that he was talking about, and he says, nah, I will win. But
it does make sense like that, but I'm not gonna lie. Nah, I'd win is just so funny. It's so funny. I love it.
On the Viz side, people are just exposed to this, and we have to meme it, right? But the meme doesn't even end there because beyond that, the meme became so big that people would replace Gojo with other characters and change what he's saying as well. Dude, I just found this huge picture of just straight Nah, I'd win.
Is that one? This one's either Shanks or Kid, or somebody else in charge. No, Shanks is right there. Is that who is that? Because I know there's a Kid one before he pulls up on Shanks. Talk about no. I don't even know. I don't even want to know what the Kenjaku one down here says. Is that Junpei? That's Junpei. This is so fucked. No, I'd adapt. Aizen, chat, not lose. Yo. No, I'd bond guy maybe. Dude, no, the I'd win meme is just so fucking funny. I love it.
Win? What the heck? When it comes
Yo, this one up here, the I'd win. Fucking throwing that shit.
to what this meme means in terms of this right here, where people are replacing the face, it could either be characters who said, oh yeah, I'm gonna win, and then they eventually lose. Like, I saw a Super Vegeta one. Obviously, we know what happened to that boy. But also, it could be characters who say, I'm gonna win, and then they actually do win. Beyond that, they'll change the words, and they will replace win with something else. Like, for example, I don't even have to look it up. I'm pretty sure there's a Mahoraga one that says, nah, I'd adapt. Outside of the series, there's examples like Zoro saying, nah, I'd get lost, or Blackbeard saying, nah, I'd off-screen. But yeah, you get the gist of that. But it doesn't even end there, because peak Lobotomy Kaisen came around 2024. And I'm not even gonna lie, I don't think I can find it, but there was this new trend where they would replace Gojo with not a character, but a word. For example, I've seen one where it's like the speech bubble of...
Yo, this... It's just being speech bubble inception is so funny. Because tradition. The one that I know is "Nah, I'd win," saying "Nah, I'd win," like he said, but the text box is still "Nah, I'd win," instead of it being a text box of the same panel into the text.
of nah, I'd
That's
win
funny.
saying nah, I'd win. I don't know where this came from, why
This
this was
image
ever
is
a
also
thing,
really funny.
but it just was. It got even crazier when we get on TikTok. I remember this because obviously JJK was always a hot topic every week it would drop, so it was all over Twitter and TikTok. The trend on TikTok was that they would have an AI voice of the narrator from Hunter x Hunter saying random BS about nah, I'd win, and then in the edit itself, it would be like nah, I'd win over and over.
But I'm not gonna lie. The TikToks of the Hunter x Hunter narrator just saying shit into the but would you lose? Like it's so fire, man. It's so fire. I'm not gonna lie.
Over again. It's just so weird, bro. But yeah, this meme was insanely huge. Dare I say the biggest meme in JJK?
If he got
I'm probably not wrong for
racist,
saying that, but
he may cause me
let's
some
move on to the next
trouble.
meme. Wow. Okay. The next.
would
meme
you
is
lose?
Fraud Tuna. So this.
Okay. This one, bruh. Listen. So I think this is around where I can start getting into it. So I didn't start recording my reactions until 236 dropped, or streaming my reactions rather. I didn't start doing that until 236 dropped because I wanted my reaction for that chapter. If you want to see my reaction to it, it's literally the first video on this channel. You can find it. I'll probably put the link in the description or I'll put a card somewhere. But, bro, that shit, oh my god, man. Dude, being on Team Sukuna for that whole fight, it was painful, I'm not gonna lie. I was Team Sukuna from day one. I never switched up. But dude, being on the week to week being on the Team Sukuna end of the week to week wait was treacherous, man. Cause dude, like if you're reading the story and you like are reading it with the proper context and you understand that Sukuna is stronger than Gojo and he is going to win this encounter, you see that like whenever the chapter ends off and it seems like Gojo's on or gained the upper hand or has the advantage, it's actually the reverse. It's him pulling out a trump card because Sukuna had an answer for something he did, so he had to change up. But every time he changed up, Sukuna had an answer. That was the problem. So it wasn't Gojo putting Sukuna on the back foot, it was Sukuna putting Gojo on the back foot. But dude, the agenda week to week was monstrous. And then, of course, once Maharaga started getting involved, it was crazy. It was bad. It was really bad. Of course, still never abandon hope, because if it is in Sukuna's kit to be able to turn himself into a cursed object to body swap, and the person he did that to was weak / slow enough to let that shit happen in real time the way it did. And then on top of that, he goes to use that nigga's technique better than the original pilot. Game is game, bro. Sorry, that's Sukuna's technique, bro. Shit. So for niggas to say that he was fraudulent for pulling out Maharaga when he basically employed the same strategy he used against Yorozu, just in a more subtle fashion. And I mean, it worked. Like, sure, yeah, he used Maharaga as a model to figure out how to evolve his curse technique to bypass infinity. Cool. If he doesn't do that, if he stays in Yuji's body, he cooks Gojo in the domain clashes. That is literally told to you in the story. Gojo points out he's fighting riskier due to him trying to adapt Maharaga when he doesn't have to take these risks he's taking. If he's not fighting under the guise of trying to adapt to Maharaga, he's fighting completely differently. And he's wearing that nigga Gojo out during the domain fights. He's breaking that nigga's domain. He's exhausting his curse technique. The second Gojo can no longer expand his domain, It's curtains. Nigga don't need to get past infinity. For that, he doesn't. But he chose to. Because that's the technique that Gojo relies on the most. He relies on infinity because he knows niggas can't touch him. So Sukuna was like, hey, once we get that away from you, we're gonna show you just how ordinary you really are, nigga. And I'm not gonna lie, yeah, sure, Gojo gave him the hands, but my nigga, he has the 6 eyes. Of course, he's going to be proficient in hand-to-hand combat. Like, what are we saying? What the fuck are we saying? Of course, he has the 6 eyes. That's going to...
Goes deep, okay? I made a video on my channel called The Dojo versus Sukuna.
Haters? No,
I'm pretty
deadass.
sure I even went over Nai Win and Falcuna in that, so if you want to see a more in-depth video on these 2 memes, go check that out. But this meme specifically, oh my gosh, it runs deep, okay? It didn't start during Gojo versus Sukuna. The seeds for this meme were planted at the beginning of the series when Sukuna looked at Gojo and said, when I take over Yuji's body, I will kill you first. Obviously, the point of emphasis here is Sukuna saying that he's going to take over Yuji's body. That didn't end up happening. Sukuna actually took over Megami's body, which had the 10 shadows, which was almost directly stated to be the direct counter to Gojo's infinity. Regardless of anything that Sukuna was saying about how...
Which, yes, that's true. But, again, bro had no way of knowing that until he got into Megami's body. Before that, it was all just... He's inhabiting Yuji's body. He sees Megami using this crazy-ass technique in ways that are quite frankly underwhelming for the technique he has. And Sukuna's like, hey, yo, you should be a lot stronger than you are, bruh. Either you gonna use that shit right, or I will. And that's what happened. It wasn't about him taking that because he knew it was a counter. He had no... That was just a conversation between Gojo and Megami. Sukuna had no way of knowing that shit until he took over Megami and went through his memories.
body was a cage and he needed to escape it. It didn't matter, okay? Because to the agenda, Sukuna left Yuji's body and took over Megami specifically because of the 10 shadows, and most importantly...
Let me read this, actually. I sense that Megami Fushiguro had the curse technique potential and tolerance to withstand me, but it would be bad if he became a cage like that brat instead of a vessel. I could have made Megami eat a finger, but in order to gain certain control over his flesh, I regained strength while inside the brat and waited for the moment. So frame 1, he already knew he could have just taken over Megami instead, but he had to... He was like, yo, let me make sure I'm strong enough to suppress that nigga's will in case he can do the same shit that Yuji's doing. Because, yeah, in the moment, he's saying, once I take over his brat and make him mine, you're cooked. But then, he goes to find out that, yo, this nigga Yuji is more of a cage than a vessel. That nigga Megami, though, hey, let me see something real quick. Like, what? None of that is inspired out of, like, fear or some sort of meticulous, like, bush campy backdoory plot to kill Gojo. No, he straight up said, yo, once I do this, you're cooked. Like, I'm fighting you. I'm killing you. He just happened to see some more potential elsewhere, some better potential. Because mind you, Yuji doesn't have a curse technique. It's just Sukuna in there, basically. So once he sees that, he's like, hey, yo, wait a minute. Hold on. Let's see something real quick. Hold on, let me see something real quick. Because low-key, if we're going that route, the same could be said about Kenjaku. Him pulling out anti-grav from a different body that he inhabited that wasn't his initial technique. And he used that to survive Yuki's black hole. The same argument could be made about Kenjaku, but niggas ain't going that far. So, hey, bruh.
The agenda, Sukuna left Yuji's body and took over Megami specifically because of the 10 shadows, and most importantly, Mahoraga. Honestly, I'm not even here to defend or not. I'm gonna make a Is a Sukuna a fraud video soon, but yeah, the agenda was planted before the fight.
Listen, part of also why I'm doing this reaction is because I am so interested. Like, I love JJK, but I'm not on the power scaling side of that shit. I'm not a scaler. I'm not a power scaler. So quit scaling at me, nigga, type shit. So I'm not on the power scaling into that of this shit, but I do love just talking about the series, yapping about the series or whatever. Just discussion, just talking about shit. And I do like watching like power scaling videos and just like hypotheticals, things like this. So, hey, if y'all want to see, if y'all want to see me collab with this nigga Gambler, just us just yapping about JJK, talking about shit. Hey, leave a like, let me know. Shit, do y'all thing. But no, it's just I love that shit, and especially like seeing a video of like this talking about like the memes and like the lobotomy side of this of the series, instead of like taking everything all serious and like doing all this power scaling shit and like what if and like all this full potential shit. Like just just a little chill, laid back, something like this, bro. This is nice. It's cool. It's fun.
Man, the fight did not help. So again, I was a One Piece YouTuber in 2023, so I really wasn't on that side of JJK Twitter or TikTok. But I will say, I did see this specific meme when that came out. So that means any meme before that wasn't that big. But this was genuinely the start of Agenda Images. And I'm not even gonna lie, this guy specifically, F Wizard, I'm literally his mutual on TikTok. I remember him dropping this TikTok, bro. This scene is when Gojo fries Sukuna within the domains, and then eventually his domain got broken down. People were saying that Sukuna's a fraud because he was getting absolutely cooked within the domains. And it didn't help that right after that, guess what happened? We get a little hint to the fact that Sukuna has been using the 10 shadows this entire time. So not only
this is part of it, but this either isn't the exact moment I'm thinking about where he's saying that Sukuna's fighting more riskily, but this is part of it where he's saying like, why isn't he using the 10 shadows and more specifically Maharaga inside the domain? So that's just another point of him acknowledging like, yo, he could be doing a lot more than he actually is. What's going on?
only is Sukuna getting cooked, but he's also using the 10 shadows without anyone knowing. Like, he has to be a fraud. It didn't end here, okay? Not at all. When Sukuna had to first actually summon Maharaga, that was a crazy week. The next chapter, when Sukuna lost his domain expansion because he got hit with a limited void, that was another crazy week. Shout out to Kyle Breeze. I'm pretty sure he's the one who made the term malfunctioning shrine. I remember that. That used to fry me. And it just kept getting worse and worse because 2 chapters after that, Sukuna gets knocked out. This,
I'm not gonna lie, and I'm so dead ass, and this is why I wish I was streaming my reactions sooner. This chapter and this panel specifically, I'm not joking, dead ass, made me audibly sigh, roll my eyes, and put my phone down when I read it. Like, what the fuck? This shit pissed me off. Not because Sukuna got black flashed and knocked out, but because I knew the heathenistic, ungodly proportions niggas were gonna spin this shit out to, bruh. Bro, niggas took this shit and spun it crazy, bruh. Oh my god, I was so mad. I was so fucking mad. Cause, dude, like, oh my god, like, and of course, like, part of it was also because of the situation. Cause I'm like, dude, of course, this dumb nigga would hit the first black flash of the fucking fight, and of course, and I saw the white eyes, bro. No, that shit made me so fucking mad. Like, what do you mean? Quit fucking with me, man. Quit fucking with me, man.
Was insane. The edits on Sukuna
Oh, that shit pissed me off so bad.
High. It was ridiculous. Sukuna sleeping. You guys have seen this, bro. The clown shoes and all that stuff. Oh my gosh. It's actually so insane that I'm pretty sure I came back to JJK.
It was rough, man. It was rough, man.
Is Sukuna really a fraud? And it didn't help that at the end of the chapter, Maharaga pulls up again. I think this is where Zard made another edit, which probably went even more viral.
Dude, like, oh my god. Please. Dude, oh my god. Like, do you see what I mean? Like, oh my fucking lord, man. The fuck are we talking about? It's funny now. It's funny now, don't get me wrong. And I think it's even funnier because Sukuna went to win the fucking 1v1. Sukuna still went on to win this fucking fight. So everybody's slandering him like this, just for him to still come out on top, was so funny.
copyright reasons, but I'm pretty sure the audio was like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Oh my gosh. Man, this is giving me flashbacks. And it's still not done, though. It's not done because Sukuna goes on to summon another Shikigami.
I have there's one TikTok I saw specifically when Gojo hit the fucking black flash. If I find it, I'll put it on screen.
Jordan never did that move.
That shit, even I'm not gonna lie, that was one of the ones that dead ass had me fucking cackling, bro. That shit was so fucking funny. What the hell? Oh, is that coming out of that goddamn pickle? Joe never did that move.
The Frog Tuna meme comes from.
It's
Basically,
so
people used to
funny,
say, oh yeah,
man.
Sukuna's crying for Daddy Mahoraga, right? And that was a joke. But then we got him summoning another Shikigami, and then Gojo himself made a joke about how it looked like.
Oh,
his parents.
shit,
This didn't
no.
help, like at all.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
There was also
This
another
fight
subset,
was so
I'm
good.
pretty sure people were clowning.
This is so fucking like I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Some of this shit was genuinely funny. Like this, this is so fucking funny. But it's even funnier, cause deadass, why the fuck did he throw the fire extinguisher? Nigga has the 6 eyes. What is the fire extinguisher doing? Deadass. Oh fuck. I'm pretty sure he like threw it as a distraction or some shit or whatever. It was something like that. But it wasn't like explicitly meant to obscure his vision. But it's just the concept of going against somebody who has an ocular prowess that's based off of like enhanced perception. The nigga wears a blindfold all the time. And bro's like, yeah, let me throw the fucking fire extinguisher, please. It's so funny.
Clowning Sukuna for throwing a fire extinguisher. I don't even understand why this was a thing, but yeah, I have to mention it. Things got even worse and peaked in chapter 235. Sukuna was getting rocked while Mahoraga was with him. Gojo shot a red upwards, and then Sukuna was crying for Mahoraga. And then the second to last page of the
I'm not gonna lie.
Gojo shot a red upwards, and then Sukuna.
I'm not gonna lie. I have to be so truthful. I don't think I have a defense for this. The only defense is like he noticed, realized he misgauged, and was like when he corrected that nigga earlier when he was like, yo, you're not a reflection of Megami Soul, you're mine. Show me what you can do. It's one of them like when your parent calls you downstairs after you got some bad grades on a report card, like Maharaga, like that shit, bro. Like that's wasn't. It didn't strike out of fear for me. It wasn't like Maharaga, please. It didn't give off those vibes, bro. It was just a miscalc, and him like, hey yo, you better get on that shit, nigga. Oh man, yeah, no, 235. 235 was crazy. 235 was the last straw for me. I'm not gonna lie, cause I said it in the video, in the 236 video, but the morning 236 dropped, bruh, in the few days leading up to it, I was dodging spoilers left and right. Saw 236 spoilers raw. I'm like, okay, gotta stay off certain shit, gotta stay off certain parts of YouTube, stay off Twitter. I'm sitting here looking for the chapter the day it's supposed to come out, bro. I'm sitting here getting shrapnel slid off me, bro, taking slight collateral, bro, taking chip damage and shit. Dodging these fucking spoilers and shit, bro. By the time I got to that shit, I was able to make my own inferences. But I was like, hey, yo, listen. I gotta cut the stream on, bro. I have to. This is a monumental chapter. This is gonna make or break. And buddy. That shit. Woo. That shit was prime eats. I'm glad I at least got that reaction. That shit was prime eats. Excuse me. But no, bro. Leading up to 236 was God testing his strongest disciples, bro. God sends his hardest test to his strongest disciples, bro. And that was what that was. That was what the whole beginning half of that fight was, bro. And if you had the reading comprehension, you could see through most of it. But still, oh man.
Sukuna was crying for Mahoraga, and then the second to last page of the chapter, I'm pretty sure, it's Sukuna battered up. Yeah, it was ridiculous, bro. And to make things worse, there was a 2-week.
I also do have to say, he's smirking right here. So nigga saying like, yeah, he had him in bad condition or whatever. Sure, yeah, he got him in bad condition. But the nigga's smirking. He knows he got this nigga right where he wants him.
Battered up, yeah, it was ridiculous, bro. And to make things worse, there was a 2-week period between 235 and 236. So you can imagine 2 weeks of straight slander on Sukuna. It was insane to be a Sukuna fan back then.
Yeah. It was.
Now, there's a very interesting thing that happens after the Gojo versus Sukuna fight, and I'm gonna go more in depth on it when we get there. But 236 drops, and obviously the memes don't stop because Sukuna gains road cutting slash. It's off screen, and nobody understands what happens. So everybody comes to the conclusion that it's some BS that Gege made up. But the biggest thing is obviously the fact that Mahoraga used it first, and of course the Daddy Mahoraga stuff. And one more thing I have to mention is the fact that next chapter 237, when Kajima's about to fight him, he gets Kamutoge, and it looks like that one baby toy. Gege was not helping with the memes, but again, I'll go over what happens right after.
Chill, bruh.
That being said, the next meme is Waffle Kashimo. You have to understand how deep this meme goes. So for me personally, I caught up to JJK during the Sakurajima colony, so I wasn't there for Kashimo versus Akari or Kashimo's introduction or anything like that. But what I've heard from people is that back then we didn't have a Mayamura. If y'all don't know who Mayamura is, he's the most notorious leaker. He was a leaker by the time Gojo vs. Sukuna came out, maybe? I don't know. Me personally, I didn't even engage with leaks until Sukuna took over Megami, so I was really late into it. But going back to it, I was told that back then, there was a Kashimo fan as the leaker. So I was hearing that they were posting certain panels from the chapter, but not putting the entire thing to make Kashimo look better. And the reason why I have to bring up all this is because you know how people's opinions on certain things change when it comes to leaks. I know you guys remember the BS that happened for the last chapter when the entire Sukuna part was omitted, and everyone was like, that was the ending. Obviously, it wasn't the full ending, and the full ending did come out eventually. But that initial emotion still
wasn't like
it was something that you felt. So when you see leaks of Kashimo going crazy, that feeling of okay, Kashimo is super strong sticks with you. But this isn't only just a leaks thing. Like the entire time Kashimo was on screen, he's been asking for Sukuna. I'm pretty sure in his introduction chapter, he's asking for where Sukuna is, and it doesn't stop. Even after he loses to Akari outright, he's like, no, I'm not gonna use my Curse Sneak. I'm waiting for Sukuna. And then obviously Sukuna took over Megami and became the big bad. And then we were like, okay, after Gojo, because obviously Gojo is the strongest, then we're gonna have Kashimo. And lo and behold, the end of 236.
Dude, I still, to this day, man, wish I could find the OG translation of this chapter specifically that I read, because it was a very rough translation. But this page specifically, like, dead ass gave me chills, bro. Without taking any time to mourn the death of Satoru Gojo, soaring to the battlefield was the god. Hang on, let me see if I can find it, bro. Cause dude, that shit was so fucking fire, bro. Yeah, man. Thunder God Kashibo Hajime. And then down here, the fucking editor note, man. Run quickly to the place of death. Please. No, that shit was so tough. Dude, it is so crazy, too. Because nigga wasted no time. But he saw him get chopped down. He was like, yeah. Nigga said, I'm out there. Nigga said, bye. I'm out there, bro. I'm next. Bro, he didn't waste a second. Nigga said, oh, he lost? I bet. Y'all be easy.
Literally Kashimo. So we have biased leaks. We have Kashimo hyping it up. And then the biggest thing of them all is Kashimo fans. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna have to call out Kaio once again, bro. Kaio was like one of the biggest Kashimo fans. He used to say that Kashimo was the strongest if he uses his Curse Technique. I genuinely remember he was talking about how Kashimo has 3 different tiers. He has base Kashimo, him with his Curse Technique, and then him with his Binding Bow Curse Technique. It was insane. And so all of this build up. build up comparable to the likes of Yuji versus Sukuna and Gojo versus Sukuna. Okay, maybe it's not comparable, but I'd say it's like top 3. But yeah, it was a whole bunch that I read on this fight specifically, and I have to emphasize that Gojo versus Sukuna was over 10 chapters long. Guys, Kashimo versus Sukuna was no longer than maybe 1.5 chapters. And that's because the fight happened after they were yapping, and then when it ended, they were yapping a little bit more. And of course, it ended with the most crazy kill in the entire series.
Dude!
Sukuna sending
Oh my fucking god, man. No, scrolling down after bro just turns around, gets his bearings, tries to go for the next attack, and it's like, wait. You scroll down and just see this? Oh my fucking god, man. It was nasty. It was nasty. Because why did he do him like that? Damn. Just sorry. Because why did he do him like that, bro? Why did he do him like that?
This was kind of crazy, and I'm not even gonna lie. Again, I was a One Piece YouTuber, but I made a chapter review on it, and I know I talked about how bizarre it looked. This genuinely looked like one of the craziest things that Sukuna ever did, but it really wasn't because Sukuna goes on to spam it throughout the entire arc. But we don't talk about that, okay? But yeah, this meme was born from the fact that Kashimo was hyped up so much by his fans, leaks, the story, for him to just die so quick. I'm not gonna lie, it was warranted. The next meme on the list is Bush Captain Yuta. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna put my hands up, bro. I feel like I was part of this. For me personally, it started all with Yuta fans. They're so obnoxious. They've always been obnoxious, and they're still obnoxious.
Listen. Not too much. Am I Yuta? How do I want to phrase this? I like Yuta. I do, in fact, like Yuta Okots. Do I categorize as a quote-unquote Yuta fan? No. Is Yuta in my top 5 favorite characters in JJK? Yes. So that being said, not too fucking much. Listen, I like Hikari too. He cool. He cool dude. I fuck with bro. But not too much on my nigga Yuta, bro. Not too much on the cockroach kisser. Yo! I'm not gonna lie. There's no defense for that. That shit is wild. Nigga said, yo, what's the fastest way I can get my RCT to you? Do me un besos, nigga. Like, bro, what?
The biggest thing was the fact that Kenjaku was fighting Tagaba, and you guys know the infamous scene of Yuta saying that he's gonna kill Kenjaku. People were like, Yuta went back to Africa because he wasn't here, right? And before that, even, we had Kashimo pull up, and then we saw Yuji and Higuruma pull up. So, where is Yuta? And then, in the final chapter of Kenjaku versus Takaba, Yuta pulls up, and he was sneak attacking him. There was a whole bunch of memes from here, but the biggest meme is obviously the bush camper one, because that's basically what he was doing. It was kind of funny, because when the spoilers came out first, everybody was saying that Yuta just swiped around Kenjaku and blitzed him. It was the craziest day ever.
But, like, hold on. Because even though, like, it's just crazy that niggas dead-ass stink that Yuta was just waiting in a bush this entire time. He was watching the fucking fight. But I'm not talking about Kenjaku and Takaba. Because if I remember correctly, literally before this page, never mind, wait. I think that happens after he kills Hazanoki. Never mind. Because Takaba's the one that pulls up while Kenjaku is watching Gojo get fucking bisected. So, okay. So listen. From the time Gojo gets cut down, we see Yuta still there. And we know at that moment, Takaba pulls up on Kenjaku. We know that. Now, directly after Gojo gets clipped. That's when every contingency plan goes off at once. So Kashimo is the next contingency plan because he brute forced his way next. But Yuta and Yuji both had their own contingency plans. Yuji's being Higuruma and everything else that they're doing, and Yuta's being coming to Kenjaku and doing the body swap shit. So, assuming that he fucking just pulled up with Toto and then sat in a bush watching these two fight, instead of, I don't know, maybe Kenjaku and Takuba's fight didn't last that long, and it just happened to be over right when Yuta got there. Because not only does Yuta have to leave from where he's at watching the fight, he also had to go get Toto, I'm pretty sure. Because Toto wasn't there. Toto doesn't pull up until way later. I don't know, man. Listen, I'm not here to say whether or not he is or isn't bush camping. That's just my thought process on whether or not he could be. But it's just so funny to think that that's actually what people are imagining. He just pulled up, plopped down, and is just watching these two niggas frolic in the forest for 4 fucking minutes, telling jokes and shit. He's like, you know what? I've had enough.
Obviously, we found out the full context later in the story, but the agenda was crazy, and people were just saying that Yuta's a fraud because he was sneak attacking Kenjaku. Since then, the meme has gotten even bigger.
Because even the thing about it is like, yes, he's gonna sneak attack this nigga. We're fighting Sukuna on the other end. Why the fuck are we wasting time and manpower on somebody else who we don't want to fight at the same time as Sukuna? When we could just get that nigga up out the way effortlessly, quick, and then come back and focus all of our efforts on Sukuna. Like, the fuck?
Slandered a lot lately. I don't really know the main source for it, but people speculate that it's Yuji fans trying to push agenda, and I'm not gonna lie, it was very effective because you won't see a single TikTok comment section without them saying that you have to have a Yuta stray. And of course, the anime coming out and Yuta like basically sneak attacking Choso is in there, so that doesn't help. I'm looking forward, and I'm seeing there's no memes about Yuta being a fraud and like.
He didn't really sneak attack him though. He was walking past him and just sideswiped the nigga all the way past. Like, what the fuck? Choso could have reacted to that. Nigga, stack to your eyes, nigga. Pay attention. Skill diff. Shit.
A Rika merchant. So I guess I should talk about it now. Now, I can't really find the origin of this, but I'm pretty sure this stems from the fact that, again, Yuji fans are trying to push an agenda, and during their fight, Yuta uses Rika to hold him in place. So people go on to say that Yuta is a Rika merchant who needs Rika to do his certain stuff. There's also the fact that Kenjaku was like slandering Yuta specifically. He was like, the only reason why
it's not like he summoned her.
Rika. We've obviously found out more like how Rika is like the external storage for Yuta's stuff. Honestly, nothing that happens in the story really helps to go against the meme, in quotations. Obviously, outside of agenda, Yuta is not a Rika merchant, but as we continue to see Yuta, in quotations, rely on Rika, it really just helps people slander him. The next meme on the list is Mahoraga adapting to the legal system. This isn't a big meme, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like this is more niche than the other ones I've been
It
talking
has
about.
to be, yeah, because this one was one that I didn't explicitly see, but I do remember seeing some images of Mahoraga in the suit and like him in some Phoenix Wright edits and shit. So I've seen it, but I haven't like explicitly seen it, you know.
244 maybe? We'll see if I snipe that. But I'm pretty sure 244 ended with Sukuna smiling because he's in Higuruma's domain expansion. Everybody was theorizing like why Sukuna would be smiling, and obviously we found out the reason why is because he wanted to get the death penalty. But the biggest theory was that Sukuna was going to use Mahoraga to adapt to the legal system. Obviously, this was because we didn't really realize that Sukuna lost Mahoraga because Gojo destroyed it. But it was kind of funny because people were arguing about whether or not Mahoraga can adapt to the concept of law. It was honestly ridiculous, and to be honest, like...
Which would be so fucking funny if he could, man. That's hilarious.
There's really not much to say beyond that because you can see the difference between this meme and the previous ones, because this one was like a prediction meme, right? And it just dies after the next chapter comes out, so yeah. Alright, so the next meme is Femboy Kashimo.
Femboy
I cannot believe I have to
Kashimo.
actually talk about this, but this is another byproduct of the Kashimo slander. We obviously have the waffle Kashimo stuff, but it just got even worse when people realized that like Kashimo's body that he incarnated into...
Femboy Kashimo is another one I also don't believe I encountered much. Which is just so crazy. Because why did niggas do this?
looks kind of feminine. And honestly, I have to mention this as well. Hikari might have played a big role into this. Hikari is obviously associated with the transgender character Kirara, and then he fights his biggest fight against Kajimo, and then he fights his next biggest fight, I mean, in quotations, biggest fight, against Yarame, who was androgynous. And so Kajimo being in the middle of this, yeah, Kajimo ended up being the, in quotations, femboy. So not only did Kajimo fans have to go through the waffle Kajimo thing, but then they had to go through this as well. Oh my gosh. The arts that were coming out surrounding this, oh my goodness, dude. Anyways, the next meme on the list is Jogoats. So I'm not gonna lie, I went to go research this, and I found out that a huge YouTuber who goes over memes made a video about this one specifically. Here I found out that
Joe Goat,
fake...
dude, the Joe Goat meme is so funny. Cause, again, Gambler is going to explain it better than I can, better than I would. But dude, fucking, yes, Jogo literally gets unlucky going against the top two of the verse, being Gojo and Sukuna. So, of course, he's going to not look that impressive. But literally anybody else that he encounters, he puts the fucking beaters on. He one-tap Nanami damn near. He one-tap Maki damn near. He quite literally one-tap Naobito.
Shit.
He's stated to be stronger than Hanami, not more durable, stronger. Like, Jogo is strong, bruh. I'm pretty sure he's stated to be the strongest of the... Not stated. I'm pretty sure he's like... It's not stated, so don't quote me. But I'm pretty sure Jogo is the strongest disaster curse. But Mahito is technically above him because of his curse technique. IIRC. But I could be wrong about that. But regardless, bruh, the Joe Goat meme is another good one. Because why did people blow him out of... Like, I understand why people blew him out of proportion. Because, like, he got dealt a bad hand. He's pretty strong. But, like, for it to be this crazy, like, dude...
Discord gamer made this edit of Jogo over Gojo's body. I'm not even gonna lie, I don't even know where this comes from because I went on Reddit to find it and I can't really find it. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a fraud, bro. I really can't use Reddit, I guess. But anyways, from this meme, the YouTube video made this example and it really does work here. I know you guys remember that Kagurabachi meme where they were talking about how Kagurabachi is like the best new gen ever. Obviously, the joke came from the fact that it seemed so generic. So the same kind of thing is happening here where Jogo is being put to be like the strongest curse and all this stuff. Even though maybe that's not the case. People do argue up and down about that, but I personally don't agree. But the point is that Jogo is being portrayed to be the strongest. Not even the strongest curse, actually. It's not limited to just that. Jogo is like the strongest in the entire verse with this meme. I'm not even joking right now. Another reason why I remembered to make this video was because I accidentally found this video of someone animating Jogoats. I obviously replied to it when it first came out saying that he was ugly, and then I found myself saying it, and I was like, yo, I have to make this video. This was a crazy meme, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it really just, it boosted Jogo's PR, like, by 100 times. You guys know the common consensus about how Jogo got unlucky because he went against the two strongest in the entire verse, so everybody thought he was weak, and then one Lobotomy Kaisen meme had to come out, and boom, he's free from all of it. Wow, I just checked the next meme. The next meme on the list is Kenjaku backshots. Now,
dude,
unlike the...
Okay. This one is crazy. This one's crazy. I'll interject when I get to it.
I don't think this was a meme that came from like any specific scene.
It
like,
didn't.
For example, earlier I was talking about how the Mahoraga adapting to the legal system came from Sukuna within Higuruma's domain. I don't know why this is on the list, but I guess I can talk about it. The premise of the meme is pretty obvious. Kenjaku took over Yuji's mom's body and then gave birth to Yuji.
So when that was revealed, and it's in the anime now, so I can talk about it. When that flashback happened in the manga, it was one thing, and niggas were like, "Damn, that's crazy. Okay, wow, that's wild." But nobody thought anything else of it. So then...
Actually, now I'm thinking of a scene that probably gave birth to this meme, and it's when Sukuna...
When Sukuna says this shit, that's when niggas put two and two together, and they're like, wait a minute. That's what got the gears turning, and niggas are like, wait a minute. What do you mean by that? Wait a minute. This nigga did... Hey, hang on. Kenjaku, you not slick. That's when niggas started catching on, bruh. was when Sukuna said this shit. It was so funny. Cause dude, like, what? Are you shitting me? What do you mean? What do you mean you got that cursed womb on you? Like, what are we doing?
The cannibal who kills people said that Kenjaku does the grossest things.
Yeah,
We're talking about
exactly.
a cannibal here. A
Yeah.
cannibal who literally just ate someone as well. And obviously the biggest thing about this is the fact that Kenjaku went through intercourse all for the sake of science. Like, that's insane, right? I will mention that I'm pretty sure the fact that Kenjaku did this gave room to people speculating on whether or not Kenjaku really was a female at the beginning of his life. I
And
don't
then
think we have
especially
exact
that
answers
one,
to
bruh.
because
Especially
why would we?
the nurse
Honestly,
bit when he was fighting Takaba.
it doesn't really
That
matter to
didn't
the
help.
story at all. I just have to mention that. I'm just so shook that this was on the list and I didn't notice it until now. Anyways, the next meme, this is where I can finally go in depth to what I meant by the end of Gojo vs. Sukuna. The next meme is the Heian era techniques meme. And guys, I don't know how this happened because, like, for the 10th time this video, I was a One Piece YouTuber mainly during 2023. There was
Okay, so that being said, let me break it down real quick. So the Heian era, and of course he's going to give it a really good explanation as well. So I'm gonna play it. But the Heian era techniques thing was, I'm pretty sure, like slightly after Kamutoke got confiscated, and then we saw Sukuna use what is it called? Not wilted widowmaker basket. A fucking wilted dude. Hollow wicker basket. That shit. We saw him use that, bruh. And niggas were like, "Oh, what else is he gonna pull out? What other hand air technique is this nigga going to pull out from beyond the grave?" And I just remember seeing literally like this picture with the I haven't used that since the hand era. Just random ass bullshit. It was great. It was funny. Cause niggas were thinking that since he got Kamutoke confiscated and he's out here using Hollow Wicker Basket, he went back to his forearm form and he just can do shit. Can just do shit, especially after seeing it once. You're just like, okay, one, where's that other staff that he had? Because he had another cursed tool. But two, what other technique is this nigga just going to pull out from the tuck?
how this happened because, like, for the 10th time this video, I was a One Piece YouTuber mainly during 2023. There was such a huge shift on Sukuna's reputation in the community. Reminder, Sukuna was dubbed Fraud Kuna.
Yeah.
He had the clown edits. He had the Mickey Mouse edits. All this stuff. And then as soon as Sukuna started putting BTA on the cast, everyone was saying that Sukuna is too strong. Honestly, I can't even go over that just
Exactly,
yet because there's
bruh.
another meme on this list that will allow me to go even more in depth. But referring back to higher number techniques, this all stemmed from Sukuna getting Kamutoke. Obviously, Kamutoke is something that Yorozu made, and it was from the high number, right? And of course, in the exact same chapter, Sukuna goes back to his high number form.
Yep.
And as you're looking at this panel, this is the panel of Sukuna being like, oh, just wrap it up already. Give me the death penalty. That's the panel, right? But this meme, I'm pretty sure actually came out during Yuta and Yuji versus Sukuna.
My
And the biggest reason
ancient-
for
it
that was
did.
because
Yes,
Sukuna
it
used
did.
Hollow Wicker Basket. I'm not
My
kidding.
ancient technique.
People did not recognize this, even though Reggie...
And I'm people because yes, Reggie Star used it, and I'm pretty sure Kashimo used it. I don't remember, but yes, it was shown earlier on in the Calling games. I completely fucking forgot because again, I checked out during that shit. So when I saw Sukuna use this, I thought it was one of Yuta's techniques. I was confused. I'm like, what the fuck is a Hollow Wicker Basket? We've never seen that before. And then I realized later on that, oh, it's a fucking anti-domain barrier technique. Got it.
Reggie already used it in the story. And so that gave birth to the high and era techniques meme. They were saying that Sukuna was pulling absolute BS from his buns to win his fights. Of course, Hollow Wicker Basket is not a good example because we saw someone use it and then we found out that Kashimo had it as well. But literally from this first meme, everything else just started spiraling, right? Because people were making up new techniques for Sukuna and the main quote is, "Ah, yes, I haven't used this since the Heian era."
Yep.
Honestly, if you really think about it, this meme is very deep because this is where everything about like how Sukuna does ass pull binding vows and that Sukuna saved by Gege and all this stuff, all the propaganda, it really stemmed from this specific
Me
meme.
not trying,
Honestly, I'm pretty sure
man.
the reason why we like circled back
Hold
to the
on.
propaganda-
What? Sukuna will win. Running low on curse energy. Focusing is hard to beat because he can't heal it. Had to use Hollow Wicker Basket to avoid Jacob's Ladder. Even Strong Cleave couldn't kill Wuji and Wuta. Curse energy output keeps dropping. Needs constant as pulls to not die. Interesting takes. Sukuna still hasn't been able to go all out. It'll be over once he uses the black box. Oh yes, by taking a nap in the middle of a fight technique. I haven't used this since the Heian era. Fuck off, man. Couldn't even beat Gojo on panel. Okay. You wanted to see him make the binding vow and then the slash go out and cut the nigga? Like, I mean, I get it because I also kind of wanted to see it happen on panel, but like, it didn't get over it. The fuck? Zero techniques shown. Everything he did with Shrine. And using the 10 shadows. Those are 2 techniques minimum. World cutting slash is a technique. He used multiple dismantles. He used Max Elephant's water shit like piercing blood. Domain expansion's a technique. Like, what do we mean zero techniques shown? Zero effort in his fights. Okay. 7 ass beatings since chapter 223. Okay. Don't worry, guys. Sukuna still isn't trying. Gege after Sukuna's 300th ass beating. Oh, man. Like... Oh, shit. It's just funny. It's just funny. Take the fight seriously to show the high schoolers how outclassed they are. Get beat up by teenagers while saving his ultimate ability for Jujutsu Kaisen 2. Listen. Yeah, he could go all out and just slaughter everybody there. The point that is reiterated during all that is that while, yes, they can't provide a challenger on par with or as strong as Gojo, everybody that pulls up after is at the very least interesting Sukuna enough for him to toy around with them and play with them. Case in point, Higuruma. He could have mincemeated that nigga after the domain broke. But he wanted him to get the Executioner Sword. He wanted him to learn RCT. He wanted to see how much potential he had. After he was satisfied with that, he was like, yeah, I bet. I won't play with you anymore. Got him better. Same with Maki. She's a heavily restriction user. No curse techniques, no energy, no curse energy. Just straight raw physicals and hands. And she was keeping up with this nigga. So he's like, okay, I'm interested. I'm tough. I'm hype. He actually started to get more into it with Maki. Because then he was like, okay, let me see which is stronger, which is better, the body or curse techniques and curse energy. Nigga hit a black flash. Restored his output. Like, okay, sure, he didn't do everything he possibly could have to stay at 100% health the entire time. Sure, he didn't frame one, shit whip everybody. Frame fucking one. Like, read the story, man.
It really stemmed from this specific meme. Honestly, I'm pretty sure the reason why we circled back to how Sukuna's like a fraud and all that stuff is because of this meme, right? Because people thought, okay, Sukuna has all these feats, but it's because they're all assholes. It's all because Gege's saving him. So we're gonna ignore all of that and say that Sukuna is actually a fraud and Gojo's the real strongest or something like that. Basically, the point is that all of his feats are null and void. I'm actually so shook that I forgot to mention this. I think a big reason why this started, again, I mentioned Kamutoke, but then when we found out that Kamutoke was confiscated instead of Shrine, yeah, you know how people got outraged. And I'm not even gonna lie, that was a crazy moment. That being said, there were more memes that came out of it, like Yuta doing the exact same pose because he was copying Sukuna right after we found out that he used Cleave on Sukuna. And honestly, again, this basically stayed with us the entire series. Anything you see about binding vows, you can probably just trace it back to the High technique thing. Like, a good example of that is Fuga. We found out about Divine Flame, and then we're told that he made a Banipao, probably in the High to make up for the fact that Fuga itself doesn't have good speed. Nothing more to really say about that, so the next thing on the list is Bum Megami. Now, I know there's another Megami meme on the list, so I won't talk about, like, Potential Man just yet, but the picture associated with Bum Megami is basically saying, like, the Reddit community, I forgot the name, subreddit, I think? The subreddit called Jujutsu Folk used to basically just hate on Megami. I'm pretty sure this is Reverse Flash, and the entire meme about Reverse Flash is that you honestly just hate, alright? You just hate and hate and hate. And so looking at this list, it's been in order so far, so I'm pretty sure this is referring to when Megami basically sold Yuta and said, no, I'm done with all this. Man, this was a crazy week, okay? Because Megami was the main one everybody was trying to save. Megami just saw Gojo die for him. All this stuff. And then we're finally about to save you. Yuji's right there. He's like, nah. Honestly, this is another agenda thing. Because Yuji at the end of the story, he's like, yeah, I can't really ask you to stay alive just because. It's not even like Megami was being selfish and he didn't really care that these people were dying for him. It's because he's just done with life, bro. Like, he just doesn't want to live anymore. And they're trying to force him to. That being said, I don't really know what happens in the subreddit. Again, I don't really use Reddit. But you can assume that they were hating on him a ton when this chapter came out. And the next thing on the list, which I can finally just go full in depth, is the Sukuna cycle. Alright, so this is a meme that I actually made a full video on. It's actually one of my favorite videos, but it's privated now because, well, I reused the thumbnail. But this referred to the repeated in quotation cycle, where a new challenger would pull up on Sukuna, they would have their moment, and then Sukuna would fry them. I mean, like, if you simplify it like that, that's genuinely what happened. Higuruma pulls up, Higuruma gets hyped up, Higuruma dies. Yuta pulls up, Yuta gets hyped up, Yuta dies. Maki pulls up, Maki gets hyped up, Maki dies. Kusakabe pulls up, Kusakabe gets hyped up, Kusakabe dies. And the funniest one,
Divine Booms,
is Miguel.
bro. Cause, dude, why were you here?
Fried me when that came out, bro. We were
No,
really
it was
already
actually
talking
so
about the cycle, and
funny.
then Miguel, a guy we haven't seen since JJK 0 pulled up out of nowhere.
Deadass. No, like midway through this cycle, everybody is tired, bro. Everybody's talking about like, damn, bro, I'm tired of seeing these niggas pull up, get hyped up just to get clapped by this nigga Sukuna. I'm tired of it happening every 2 chapters, bro. What the fuck is going on? The next nigga to enter the battlefield is this black ass nigga Miguel, bro, who ain't did shit since JJK fucking 0. That shit was fucking funny. Dude, niggas were in shambles over that shit. It was hilarious. Cause bro showed up and got to break dancing. Nigga showed up, got to busting a move, bruh. Didn't take a single hit from that nigga though. Didn't take not one attack from Sukuna. Yes, sir.
The funniest thing is, Miguel pulled up, Miguel got hyped, and he never died. The guy literally just ran away. I will always slander this guy, bro, because he's just, like, what is he? Like, genuinely, what is he? Lulu, a way lesser character than him, put more work in than Miguel. What is Miguel, bro? Okay, you know what? Let me not get mad. Anyways, with the Sukuna cycle meme came the...
To be fair, Miguel really didn't want to be there. He said it.
Sukuna is too weak, and he got fodderized by Gojo, to Sukuna is too strong, and he's making JJK boring. I have to stress one more time, bro. This is the same character that was getting the clown edits and all this stuff. But once he was not fighting Gojo anymore.
Niggas were mad. Niggas were mad pressed. Once he actually beat Gojo, bruh. Cause niggas were getting their slander off wicked, bruh. It was a ludicrous amount of slander. Luda! Like, dude, it was bad. So then, to see all that slander and bruh still come out on top, niggas were pressed. There were some niggas that dropped the series because that nigga Gojo died, bruh. Dude, it was so funny, man. Niggas switched up crazy. Niggas are like, oh, he won. Get him up out of here, bro. I hate this. Like, what are we doing?
The entire fandom, I'm not joking, the entire fandom was going around saying that Sukuna was too strong. And this continued for a very long time. Even after the manga ended, people realized, like, yeah, Sukuna really is that guy. Obviously, it was very short-lived. I don't know what the actual catalyst for this was, but Gojo fans just came out of the woodworks and pushed their agenda so hard that now it's almost a fact in the community that Gojo is stronger than Sukuna. It didn't help that Gege came out with a statement that Gojo could have dodged Shrine. Oh my goodness, dude. Overall, though, the main meme was just a complaint about Sukuna. But honestly, that's what gave it flair, right?
I'm not talking... If I talk about that, we'll be here. We'll be here for another 30 minutes, bro.
Anyways, the next meme in the final meme
I have to let it go.
picture is Poo Kuna. I think you can obviously guess where this came from. It's from basically
Yeah.
Sukuna's final look, when Yuji extracts Sukuna from Megumi and then he turns into this little pile of, I don't even know what this is. This was crazy. But there's some extra lore to this because this kind of looks familiar. Guys, I've been literally trying to research this for the past 30 minutes. The image says P-O-U Kuna. I thought it was a typo and it was actually supposed to say Poo Kuna, like P-O-O. Bro, why did I look up P-O-U and this is exactly what I've been looking for? Anyways, Poo is apparently like this mobile game where you can raise a pet, but one of the options is to beat it up. And so when they saw Sukuna on the floor like that, it kind of looked like Poo. So they drew Sukuna just like it. I'm just, bro, this is blowing my mind right now. Anyways, why does this game exist? What the heck is this?
It's funny.
We finally entered the next image, and we start off with
This
Chinese
is the
sorcerer,
first
and I gotta go research that.
one
Oh
on
my
this
God,
list
chat,
I've
Alright, so
literally
chat, this
never
is
heard
research,
of.
and I found out what this is about. Apparently, someone in some random comment section
Literally never fucking heard of this meme at all until this video.
commented this. That one Chinese sorcerer who was never seen but was mentioned to be feared by Sukuna. There's a colon at the end of the comment, so I'm pretty sure this was put under one of those edgy edits. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. I'll put one on the screen. It's one of those edits that are just straight brain rot, and it's like the type of people who unironically think Gojo is stronger than Sukuna. Not for any
Yeah.
like actual reason, but they think, okay, he has Mahoraga, so Gojo's stronger. And apparently
Yeah.
someone saw that and
Which
called
is
out
not the
how
case.
stupid that is. They posted it on Reddit, and now it's a full-on meme. Obviously, Poe is the Poe is the face of this meme, and we have this like fake leak right here where Sukuna is fighting someone, and then Poe stops him, and then it says, "The King of Curses, Frozen Fear. It was a voice he had not heard since the Heian era." And then Poe says, "Move, and I will send you." I will send you back to the spirit realm again. And then at the bottom it says, "The voice of the Chinese sorcerer who sealed him away." Yeah,
Dude.
this is what I mean by Lobotomy Kaisen.
Like,
What
it's
a
so
meme. This
goofy,
actually reminds me
but
of
I
that one
love
fake
the
meme.
amount of effort that people put into these memes. Like, it's genuinely so good. That's why I miss it. That's why I love it. I'm hoping we get there. I'm hoping we get back there with the anime, but I don't know, man.
Geeks guy. Oh, should I add him to this video? I gotta think about this. Anyways, I'm gonna put my own lore into this, right? Because maybe this comment stemmed from that one statement Sukuna had during his fight against Mahoraga. You guys know the flow of Sukuna versus Mahoraga. Sukuna's testing out his abilities. He eventually finds out, oh, okay, that's what he's doing. He's adapting to literally everything I do. But right before that, he says, it's similar to Yamata no Orochi. A lot of people saw this statement and automatically assumed that Sukuna is referencing a past sorcerer that he's fought against, named Yamata no Orochi. I generally don't think that's what's happening here. Like, there's no way Sukuna's just gonna name drop that, and Gege's never, ever going to follow up. But also, like, if you really look into it, what he's talking about here is really just a reference to a myth. Yamata no Orochi is this, like, 8-headed dragon. And on top of it, Yamata no Orochi has this freaking sword connected to his body. Maharaga's wheel, of course, is 8-handled, and the nail in the coffin is the fact that Mahoraga has a sword on his body. I mean, it gets even more obvious because Sukuna says this, and then he immediately starts talking about the blade. But overall, the point is, people saw this and thought this was referencing a sorcerer, and maybe a Chinese one, because the name isn't similar to, like, someone like Sukuna or Yorozu. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where this comment came from. Again, it's those kinds of people who come to conclusions very quickly. They spread absolute BS through the community, and it's all just aura and vibes at the end of the day. The next meme, I'm not even gonna lie. I was gonna go into this completely blind, but my brother showed me this, like, literally a couple days ago. It's so insane. The next meme is Super Senior Gojo. Look, before even watching
Dude.
this, I already know the premise of this meme. If you guys don't know what a Super Senior is,
Another
in
one
the US,
I've
we have
never
high school,
seen.
And in high school, there's 4 years. Freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, and senior year. Obviously, the normal student would go through their 4 years and then go to college or something, right? But in quotations, super senior is someone who got held back in one of those years and is still in high school.
This is a
So let's say there's like a
dastardly
19-year-old in
image.
senior year. That's a super senior. Me personally, I don't like to shade people who get held back. Like, that's none of my business. But it's one of those things that people make fun of, so super senior has been a term. And so when I see super senior Gojo, yeah, nothing good comes from this. A big thing that comes with the term super senior is the obsession with
Super
freshmen.
se-
I'm not gonna
oh,
lie,
hell
this is like
no.
the weird part of the meme, right? There's a super senior thing where like, oh my gosh, you're
Yuck.
19 in high school, go get a job, right? That's one side.
Why is
But
he
the
stuck
other
to the
side, it talks
couch?
about freshmen and trying to get with freshmen, dating freshmen. Actually, I'll explain it like this. You guys know the term gyat, right? I don't know who the first person who said gyat was, but it became this huge meme because everybody was saying it. It's the same with Riz. Riz and in quotations gyat, they weren't weird terms or brain rot terms, but suddenly it got super popular on TikTok and everyone.
I deadass feel like Unk, bruh. Cause the fuck?
Everyone started saying it. The unspoken Riz crap. Gyat. Just saying gyat to anything. And more specifically, the gyat thing, which was initially supposed to be like, gyat damn. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god.
Gyat
It switched
damn.
from that to referencing someone's butt.
Oh,
like,
hell
unironically.
nah.
And so I say all this because Super Senior went through the same treatment.
The Kaisen images.
Super Senior became this brain rot term, and then there was a character associated with it. And then here comes Super Senior Gojo. This is a Gojo who's like insanely old. I don't remember exactly what age they said. I think they said he was held back 7 times, so he should be like maybe 21 years old. But in the animations, he's obsessed with freshmen, and there was this one scene that was super
Yuck.
weird. I don't know why people laugh at this, but it went beyond freshmen. Gojo was actually sniffing for gyats in an orphanage. Yeah, I'm not going to expand further than that. That's Super Senior Gojo. Next on the list is Farmer Kashimo. It says
Dude.
Fanboy Farmer.
Femboy Farmer is so crazy. Is so crazy. Femboy Farmer is wild. That's such a crazy ass. Hang on, let me
But we already talked about the femboy part. Now we're talking about the farmer part. This was like the trilogy, okay? We had the waffle Kashimo thing, you had the femboy Kashimo thing, the farmer thing. I don't.
Yeah, cause I'm pretty sure like his era was just a bunch of farmers, bruh. He was just really strong. He was strong in that era because everybody else was just a farmer. I'm pretty sure that's like the extent of the meme.
Don't remember which one came first, but this was a big one. It's between the femboy and the farmer thing that's really big with Kashimo. The farmer meme, I'm pretty sure it came from the fact that Kashimo's era was filled with a whole bunch of farmers, like genuinely. The term farmer would refer to people who just don't really fight, and so when we see Kashimo with a whole bunch of dead bodies around him, they're calling them farmers, but genuinely, the era he was from, you had to farm to have some food. So it was a mix of like historical events, but at the same time making fun of the fact that Kashimo was like super strong back in the day, but maybe he's only that strong because he was going against literal farmers. That was kind of hilarious, but a little bit extra lore is when we found out that originally Kashimo was supposed to have a site. I'm pretty sure that's what happened, and then people were like, oh my gosh, this is just confirmation that Kashimo was a farmer. Alright, this is funny. I tried to look up what the name of that specific tool was. I know it's called a hoe in Minecraft, but I feel like there was another name. I looked it up, and it says site. So, yeah, you literally cannot make it up. It's like Gege is part of Agenda Kaisen, and he just drops these extra things to push some agenda. Anyways, yeah, that's a very big one. I think one of the biggest for Kashimo specifically, and it really didn't help that he continued on to continue killing, in quotations, farmers in the modern era, then lost to Hikari. And then he just dies to Sukuna. Like, it really doesn't help. The next meme on the list is Glazer Gege. This goes hand in hand with the
This this is another one that I've seen, and it's another one that if I find the TikTok, I'll put it on the screen.
I wake up and get so
But, dude, this shit is so fucking funny, man. Fucking the Gege glaze, bro.
Never technique thing, but this one goes deeper. Obviously, when you think of Gege glazing, it's always, without a doubt, about Sukuna. There's a ton that goes into this, and one thing I will mention is the fact that there's this stigma that Gege hates Gojo, and his wife said something good about him or something like that. And obviously, when we found out that Gojo got off screen, and for basically the majority of the story, he was gone in the prison realm, everybody assumes, oh yeah, this guy hates him. But are we going to talk about how Gojo had one of, if not the best fight in the series, and one of, if not the best conclusion in the series? Like, no, Gege does not hate Gojo. Gojo is just his character that he had to put away, just like Sukuna was put away in Yuji's body. The other level to it is, of course, the fact that Sukuna goes on to win against Gojo. People obviously come out of the fight thinking that Gojo's stronger, but he makes Gojo say, no, Sukuna was stronger than me.
Thank
And
you.
the entire rest of the arc is everyone jumping Sukuna.
Thank you.
And succeeding over and over again.
Literally says Sukuna is stronger. Like, that case closed. Like, what the fuck? The fuck? Does he know that he died to an attack slower than him? Nigga, answering a question with a question is an admission that you're wrong. That you don't have a fucking answer, nigga. First and foremost. Secondly, it don't fucking matter. Whether he could have dodged it or not, he didn't and died. And then proceeded to say he died to somebody stronger than him. So, like, what the fuck are we talking
Of course,
about?
the assumption that Gege is a Sukuna Glazer just comes up. I think the fact that Gege got this title is the reason why people started criticizing JJK fundamentally. Like, they genuinely
Holy
assume
shit.
that Gege has his own biases in the story, even though we see certain things. And especially regarding Sukuna, there's no plot holes in anything he does. I think it's really underrated the amount of consistency Gege put into his story. But it's all ignored because people love Gojo a lot, and Gege said, no, the guy's not the freaking MC. He let Yuji be Sukuna. And of course, the meme got so brain dead to the point where Sukuna lost, and people were in the comments reacting to it, being like, oh yeah, you know Gege was crying while making this chapter. What? Guys, Gege's favorite character is Nanami. You see how
Like-
Nanami went out. That boy was suffering the entire time. I'm pretty sure there's a statement that he said Nanami was only supposed to lose like an arm or something, but he went too far. This is how Nanami walked out of the Jogo situation, bro. Like, this is insane.
That's
But
what I'm
I don't
saying,
think it
dude,
goes
like-
beyond the Sukuna stuff. Overall, the point was that Sukuna was going crazy, and Gege was dubbed the Glazer. Finally, we enter a top 2 contender for most popular meme in JJK, Potential Man Megami. Wow,
Dude, this is my favorite meme of all time. One of my favorite JJK memes of all time, bro. Potential man. He has a potential to rival Gojo. His completed domain will go crazy. He'll hit Black Flash 2 eventually. Can't wait for when he finds out about Toji. Just wait until he comes back. Give me liberty, give me fire, give me middle schoolers or I retire. 0 feats, 0 relevance, 7 kamikaze attempts. Because why the fuck are you trying to summon Maharaga in every fight that you partake in? Shit's looking a little dicey. Time to kill myself. Like, nigga, what? Use my curse technique to its fullest? Nah. Summon Maharaga and anyone unless Sukuna steal my bag? Hell yeah. If and when but never is the craziest. I think the craziest fucking part of this entire meme. If and when but never is so fucking insane. Dude, that's funny.
I could talk about this for a very long time. Actually, I have a whole video on that, so go watch that if you haven't. Potential Man stems from this one Twitter post. I actually remember it. I don't remember
Me
when it first came out,
Potential
but
Man.
I remember seeing it. Actually, you know what? Let's read out what it says on it. We're starting from the top left. He has the potential to rival Gojo. His completed domain will go crazy. He will hit a Black Flash 2 eventually. Can't wait for when he finds out about Toji. Just wait until he comes back.
And this nigga found out about Toji and fucking laughed. Like, oh god. Dude, please. Dude, please. Never hit a fucking Black Flash. Never got that completed domain. Came back. Was back for like 2 chapters. It did fuck all. He did actually have the potential to rival Gojo. He just didn't. Dude, if and when but never is.
Give me fire. Give me middle schoolers or I retire. If and when but never is. 0 feats, 0 relevance, 7 kamikaze attempts. Use my curse and to its fullest?
It's
nah.
so crazy. If and when but never
Bro, this
is.
really goes deep, bro. Because I told you guys about the hype surrounding Kashimo and then he fell flat, right? Bro, Megumi's, oh my gosh. I don't think getting hyped up and then dying to the strongest sorcerer of all time is comparable to getting hyped up to be able to rival Gojo and then just disappearing for the rest of the series. I genuinely think dying to someone is worse than getting your body taken over and then the person taking over your body uses your technique better than you. Another
Yeah,
reason why
like, that's what I'm
different from
saying, bro.
Kashimo, right? Because Kashimo fought against Sukuna, we finally saw that, and then he's dead. The entire story, especially when Megumi got taken over, we've all been talking about, oh yeah, Megumi and Yuji are gonna fight Sukuna. That never happened. Megumi never reached his full potential. Megumi never got anything we were talking about.
Nope.
We heard this guy was gonna rival Gojo or even surpass him. Never happened.
Nope.
Even to this day, Yuji's the one who surpassed Gojo, and where's
Yup.
Megumi? That boy's dead. It's actually
Yo,
crazy.
chill out,
Megumi,
bro.
I
We
can't
don't know
remember,
that.
I'm pretty sure Yuta, Hakari, Todo, Nobara, Yuji, obviously, all these characters have genuine name drops. Megumi has been mentioned once, and it was because of Sukuna. This is Potential Man at his fullest, bro.
Chill out,
People like to talk
bruh.
about other characters with a whole, and it was
The only one among the 10 shadows deemed impossible to tame, a fact that held true for every sorcerer throughout history, apart from the King of Curses, Ryumen Sukuna, incarnated within the body of Megumi Fushiguro. Damn. This shadow is manifested only for the sole purpose of dragging one's opponent that was bound within the range of the exorcism ritual down with it. The pair trapped within the exorcism ritual this time.
It's because of Sukuna. This is Potential Man at his fullest, bro. People like to talk about other characters with a whole bunch of potential, right? Sure, we can talk about Mahito and all this stuff, but Mahito is not one of the 3 main characters of JJK, is he? We're talking about Megumi here. He's supposed to be on the same level as Yuji. Like, bro, Potential Man is so big that people have used this meme for other characters to slander them. Like, it's genuinely that big.
I've used this meme to slander a section at my old job. It's transcended. Is that good? Is that good of a meme? If and when but never is, bro.
So I think it's the only one that rivals not I'd win. Honestly, I don't think there's anything else for me to say about this meme.
Yeah,
So,
dude. Potential Man is the only one that truly can rival Nod win. If I'm being honest.
well, no.
Might even be
To my knowledge,
past
there's
it.
no more real lore, so the final meme on this picture is Go/Joe.
Yes.
This one has a lot of layers. So first off, this meme is mocking the people who thought that Gojo was gonna get revived. I'm gonna sit here and say,
Yes.
bro, I never fell for that propaganda. I don't know why people thought it would happen. It just made zero sense. I mean, I say that, but I'm talking about that from an eye test. I never really watched anyone's theory on it. Regardless, I really don't care, okay? There were so many memes surrounding how Gojo will come back. Because, again, everybody's just making fun of it. It makes no sense, and it never happened. In this picture specifically, it's showing us the Viber
It's
Slap
so
one.
good.
This was one of the peaks of Lobotomy.
It's so fucking funny.
With the Viber Slap, and instantly people were saying that, bro, I'm not even gonna lie, it doesn't even make sense, okay? Like, you were replacing Gojo's limbs with Viber Slaps.
Like, what?
There are other memes, like, of course, the Kit Kat stuff. There's another meme for the Gojo thing that I want to talk about. It goes back to what I mentioned with those guys who think Gojo's stronger than Sukuna for no real reason. I know you guys have seen this edit of, like, Gojo tweaking out in some random place. I don't even know where this is taking place. Yeah, this was another edition of memes surrounding Gojo's death. There was also memes about a super-powered Infinity. I remember one time, someone said this random quote. It was like, Infinity was like a cage to Gojo. And for some reason, most people took it super seriously, even though it, like, isn't it very obvious that this is a joke? I don't know, I just had to mention that. I'm pretty sure Kaio is the one who tweeted that as well, so that's the third time I'm mentioning Kaio. But yeah, guys, we finished up the 2 images. There's probably more memes out there, but I'm not doing all that. That being said, this is probably like a cool 45-minute video. I hope you guys enjoyed.
That's
It's currently
funny as
11
fuck,
PM this
dude.
time, so, you know,
Listen, bro. If you want to see me go over the rest of the JJK memes or some more, or you want to try to rope Gambler into maybe doing something with me, whether it be just some JJK Yap collab, meme review, something like this, bruh, let me know in the comments below. Leave a like on the video. And go watch this video on Gambler's channel on your own. Leave a like on his shit as well, bruh. Hikari can't be memed. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and if you want to catch these reactions and all the readings and everything else that I do live, whether it be gaming, manga, anime, reaction content like this, you want to catch it live, follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/MarcelAMFK. Link will be in the description. I'll catch you on the next one.
All-nighter to edit this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Maybe I'll make a part 2 where I combine this part with another part. But obviously, I'm not dropping down until like months later, so just let me know down in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Months later, hey, we got time, bruh. Hey, listen, boost this shit up, bruh. Boost this shit up. Hey, one day we're gonna get there. One day we're gonna get there. One day we're gonna get there. I'll catch y'all in the next one.